So you want to create impressive Pokemon cards inside Blender. This tutorial also applies for other kinds of trading cards, or you can reuse this technique for basically everything you want to apply some depth to it. So, step 0 is basically find a card you like, take a picture or find an image online and cut out the layers with your favorite image editing software, whatever you have. After you cut out the layers, I would recommend saving every single layer as an individual PNG with transparent background. I, for example, recreated the whole background layer itself to fill out the empty spots. It's not necessary, it's a personal preference, but I think personally it looks a bit cleaner. All the files I'm using for this tutorial are also below, so if you want to look into it or need inspiration, just check out the link below this video. So first step, basically we have to look up the size of our card we want to create. For example, here for Pokemon cards, it's exactly 6.3 centimeters by 8.8 centimeters, or if you measure in bullets per burger, it would be 2.48 inches by 3.46 inches. So let's translate it and use this information inside Blender. Inside this new Blender project, let's delete the default cube and let's make a new collection to keep everything organized. Shift A to insert a plane, and let's apply the size of a Pokemon card. Let's zoom in by pressing 0 on the numpad. And let's name our card to keep everything organized. And now let's duplicate our card and position them just a bit above and below the 0 point at the location. Front 0.001 and the backside negative 0.001. Material new for the front side. Let's hit the yellow dot and image texture. Let's select the image for the front side of the card. Material preview, and now let's set up the alpha channel. Switch to shading and let's plug in the alpha into the alpha channel of the material. And now let's go under material and down settings, opaque to alpha clip. For the backside of the card, it's very easy. Just select the backside and select the just created material and hit new so we can duplicate it. Now we just have to switch the image and we have the same setup as before. Yeah. Now a very important thing for lighting and stuff, we need to adjust the face orientation. Select the back side, hit tab to change into edit mode, mesh, normal flip, and done. So let's hit tab. Let's hit tab to go back into the object mode, and let's apply scale and stuff. So object, apply transformations, and the same situation for the other side of the card. Apply all transformations, and as you can see, it's all to default scale and the dimensions are still there. So let's insert the plane for the image itself. So let's hit Shift A, mesh, plane, perfect. Let's switch here to the top view and let's hit S, drag it in, Let's move it a bit up. Hit tab to change into the edit mode, vertice selection, and let's drag them with the move tool a bit more inwards. Those two down there also, and the two on the side. Let's just take the scale tool, perfect. Hit tab to go back into the object mode. Let's come to the important part. Let's give the card image and material. Card image. So, and by now I think we found a good point to combine all the planes. So drag across, select them all three, and join them together. Now again, right click, set origin to center of mass. Okay, and here on location, let's center it. This sounds now kind of weird, but when we start setting up the material for the image, we have to set up the position of the effect and stuff, and it's better to already join them together so the pivot point and stuff like that won't create any issues later on. So let's again apply all transformations. Scale, as you can see, it applied. Okay. So now let's attack the image for the card. For that, base color. Oh, also, I want to decrease the specular, increase the roughness, base color, yellow dot, image texture, and let's take a placeholder for now. So I have here an image with the combined layers just for adjusting the effect and stuff. So we have the material selected, the card image. Let's change into the shading tab and let's attack the effect itself. Select the card, hit period on the numpad to zoom in, and just like that. Okay. Yeah, and now it's getting interesting. Let's hit Shift A to add, or click up here, add. And we need a coordinate, texture coordinates, and we need geometry node. Drag across, right click, group. Now we are inside a group node. We can go back by hitting this arrow here, or we can just select the node group and hit tab to go in and hit tab again to go out. So far so good. Let's attack this node group. We have to insert a few more nodes. So Shift A and vector math node. Shift D to duplicate. Set this to subtract and this to multiply. And a mapping node. Mapping node here. Okay, now let's connect them with each other. With your subtract, multiply, texture coordinate, geometry, the group input and the group output. So first we want the position of the object, the card. Let's plug it into the vector below. And we want the incoming position of our view. So let's plug that in here. Now we can plug in here this vector into this vector into the mapping vector. Now we can plug it into the output and the group input into this vector here. So we created here a vector and automatically we got a second point. We can plug that into the scale. So we can outside, let's hit tab, outside of the node group, we can adjust some elements. We have here for the scaling, we have a vector that's a bit too complicated. We just need one value to adjust the depth of our effect. So let's hit tab to go back in and select the group input. Hit this transparent arrow, group, select the vector and change it to a float. A float is a single value. Let's change it to depth. And let's hit tab again. And as you can see, this is now a single value. So let's use it and apply it actually. Plug it into the vector of the texture. And yeah, it looks kind of weird. For that, we have to turn repeat into clip. So we only have one image. And let's go back into the node group. And in here, we have to center the whole thing. 0.5 and 0.5, okay. And it will rotate and adjust accordingly to the pivot point. So that's why it was important to set this up front. As you can see, it's rotating based on the pivot point here in the center. Rotated by 180, and we need to bring it a bit up. So let's adjust the image itself. For that, let's hit tab to go out. And in here, we can adjust the scaling. So on the x-axis, we want to get a bit more inwards until we can see the black lines. Let's go back a step. And the same for the y. So let's go back. And maybe we have to adjust something about the position itself. Oh. Geometry node. Okay, seems all right. So on the x-axis we have 2, on the y-axis we have 2.7, and makes sense because it's a non-square image. And here on the location, the x-axis is in the middle, so 0.5, and z-axis 0.5, which is currently has no use, but later to that. And on the y-axis we had to pull it a bit upwards because the pivot point is in the middle and the image is a bit more not centered, is a bit more above the center point. So, and now we can do some magic. For now, let's change the image to our first layer. In this case, the flames. And here on the depth, if we go into the negative, it will go up. And if we go in the positive, it will drop back. Pretty nice. For now, I will go with 0.6. I had very nice results with that. And let's add some more layers. For that, let's hit Shift A and mix RGB. Plug that in and toggle the cramp and Shift D to duplicate and change this to add. Now let's insert the second image, the second layer. So select those two, Shift D, change the image to the second layer, plug color into color, which is going into the base color, the alpha into the vector, like that, so it's not that translucent, and alpha into color 2, and the alpha this from this into color 1. And let's insert here the alpha into the alpha channel of the material. And now we can here change the depth to half of it, I would say 0.3. And as you can see, we get 2 layers. And already we get a very interesting and nice 3D effect going on. So basically we have to repeat that process for every individual layer we want to add to our card. So let's do that. Shift D, insert another one, select, Shift D, insert another one. Select that, Shift D, and let's change to Charizard, the next layer, and repeat the process. Plug in the color into the second color, the alpha into the factor, the alpha into the second color, and let's bring it to 0.1. Nice. I only have 1 layer left until I have all 4 layers I created in the card. So let's duplicate all those things again. Now let's adjust the scale of our things here. So I have here the backdrop, the fire backdrop. I wanna scale it up. So let's I think I'm pretty happy with the results so far. Yeah, and that's the setup for making a 3-dimensional Pokemon card. So very important, currently the card is laying flat. And we have no issues, but with the point we rotate it upwards by 90 degrees, the layers are shifting apart. We don't want that. So to fix that, that is the most common issue, I would say. To fix that, we have to object. Oh wait, let's go into the shading tab. Change to the front view. We have the card selected, object, apply rotation. Okay. Let's select the node group, hit tab. And here, let's change this to 0.9. Okay, so far so good. Let's go back and wait, I show you on here. So, and because we rotated the thing upwards, the Y and the Z value changed. It switched positions. So we have to switch the positions here too. So let's do that, and that should fix the issue. As you can see, this is fixing the issue. So now I'm doing this for all the layers, and now the new rotation, the 90 degrees upwards situation should now apply. So if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to support the channel, consider subscribing. If you want to support the channel big time, consider becoming a Patreon, like those lovely people. So, I hope you enjoyed what you got out of this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!